Have we said everything that there can be to say about spring compressors? Heck no! I've got one right here in my hot little hand that we got in from the guys at Autocrafters, and after the break, we are going to talk to you about spring compressors. Well, this very spring compressor and why this might possibly usurp the insert type that I use now as my favorite way to get springs of a classic Ford.
Restoration of a classic Ford is a journey of discovery. Let Autocrafters help you with yours. We offer quality parts for Falcon, Fairlane, F-Series, Galaxy, Maverick, and Pinto. Contact us today.
All right, so what are we doing today? Well, we're talking about the spring compressor that we got in finally from the guys at Autocrafters. I say finally, not because of Autocrafters, but because of us. We just haven't gone and bothered to order one here lately, but this is it. This is the one that they offer. This is, in my opinion, a much safer style spring compressor than the clamp style that we use a lot around here. Now that spring compressor is a good spring compressor. We use it a lot, but a lot of guys get nervous with that one because of having to release the tension on the spring on the floor or in some other direction and possibly popping that spring compressor or something bad happening with the spring. This one will not allow that to happen, and the reason for that, I'm going to go over this just lightly a little bit in the review, but this one uses studs on a plate with 2 nuts on it. Use the provided nuts. You'll put this on the shock absorber mounting position and thread these on and tighten them up good and tight. And then what that will do is you'll go back to the other end. And if you're using if you're working on a Mustang, this plate right here will mount where your shock normally mounts on there. And you'll take this nut and you'll screw it in, and it will give you a compression on the spring that will allow you to remove the upper and lower control arms, get all that stuff out of the way, and then remove the compression on the spring to take everything out so you can take the spring completely out of play. But the reason I like it is because you won't have any tension on that spring when it's removed. That's the big factor in this. The one thing that always makes me a little bit nervous about the clamp style like I'm showing you right now that we've used for years is that it is scary taking that spring out of there under all that tension and load. When you use one of these, you will relieve all of the tension on the spring before you pull the spring out. Big plus. That's the main reason I really like this spring compressor right here. Now, if you may be saying, well, what if I've got a Falcon? Because you say this is for a Mustang. You will take this plate out of play, just completely remove it, and then there is a bushing right here that sits on the shock mount point for the Falcon because it has the spear mount that goes up through the top. The shock mount sits right here, and that will allow you to, again, compress the spring and get everything ready to remove. All right, so that's my review of the little spring compressor from the guys at Autocrafters. We're going to be using this thing a good bit around here. I am probably going to actually switch over to this for almost all of our Ford suspension teardowns, just simply because to me it seems like a little bit safer unit than the other one. Do me a favor though, check out our Patreon account at the $10 a month level. You get monthly meetings with me on Zoom. A bunch of people come in. It's a hoot and a blast. We do Stump the Chump, tech tips, all that kind of stuff in there. And speaking of tech tips, because we have a new employee, because of the guys at Patreon doing what they do, we are going to be doing tech tips for Patreon supporters only. These are going to be small videos that we do just for the guys who support us on Patreon. Relax, if you are a Manic mechanic or Autorestomod viewer, it will no way affect what we do for you guys. Our videos are going to be the same throughout with all that. This is just an additional thing we do for the guys on Patreon who are, putting the extra money in to support us on the show. Also, go out and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We do videos twice a week. It's not like we're just a come-lately guy that does this stuff every once in a while. We've been doing this for 10 years, and now we're putting up 2 videos a week. So check us out and do that. Click the bell for notification. If you don't do that, you'll never be notified of any videos that we do here on the show. Finally, and all, do me a favor, be nice to each other, be kind to each other, love on each other. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you on down the road. I will be using this on Logan's Ranchero. I'm really kind of hoping, though, that Logan will be using this on Logan's Ranchero. he's got a sprinkler job now though, and he thinks he's got all kind of money. So I might even charge him to take the suspension off of his car. I could actually make some money off this kid.